My most popular video is on piriformis pain, which is yet another sign that this type of pain is extremely common. In this video, I'd like to show you a few tips and tricks, 3 tips and tricks, to resolve this pain at causal level if it is due to the fact that you stand a lot. In the other video, which I link at the end of this one, you will see the stretch of the piriformis. And in the many other videos of my channel, you will find all kind of advice on how to sit properly, because sitting too bad for too long and standing too bad for too long are 2 of the typical causes for the piriformis syndrome. If you put your hand deep in your buttock, you will feel muscle contraction if you bring your foot outwards, as well as if you go on one leg. So these are 2 of the things that we're trying to resolve for people who stand for too long. Therefore, the 3 tips that I want to give you in this video. Tip number 1 is don't walk with your feet pointed outwards, like a cowboy or like Charlie Chaplin. As soon as you go there, there is a tension in the piriformis muscle which will build up over time. Tip number 2, contraction of the piriformis will happen as soon as you go with your weight on one leg. Therefore, the question, why do you go with your weight on one leg? There are 2 reasons. One is I feel too much pressure under my heel, and therefore I relieve the pressure under the heel by going onto the other leg. The problem is that then I increase the pressure on the other heel, so it's a vicious cycle. But that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is, as I'm too static, I have no blood coming into my legs, or not enough. To resolve the first problem, which is excessive pressure under your heels, well, I have good experience with placing small silicone pads in the shoes of my patients. It's the type of thing that you can find in ladies' shoes, because when they wear high heels, they have exactly the same pressure problem. There's too much pressure coming from the thin heel right under your heel. These small silicone pads shouldn't be the wedge-shaped things. You don't want to be wearing mini heels, or not necessarily, at least. They should really be the flat things. If you live in Switzerland or in Europe, you can do like me, which is invest in a Pro Step insole by the brand Outfit. This is a brand by friends of mine, but they're really good. Apart from the fact that they're friends of mine, they're really great insoles. The only thing is, it's a startup, so for now, as far as I'm informed, it's distributed only in France and Switzerland. And last but not least, I'll show you the 3rd tip for this time bringing blood into your legs, i.e. creating movement, whereas you're stuck on the spot. This tip is especially valid also for people who work on a standing desk, for example. If you try to stay static with your 2 feet next to each other, within 2 minutes, you're gone here. So what do we teach? This is a technique that we teach, especially in the Netherlands, to the people in the army. We teach them that they can put one foot slightly in front of its normal position, so like 2 inches or so, and then you can use this pendulum technique, which I now show with a very big movement. Doesn't need to be that big. And you see that I'm always on 1.5 feet. If I'm on the front foot, the rear heel is off. If I'm on the rear foot, the front toes are off. And once you do that, you can also play with your knees, and you can also reverse your legs. I have tested this technique once when I was at the airport, just trying to stand like this. I can hold it for 5 minutes. If I go with this technique, I can hold it for 15 minutes, i.e. using these techniques multiplies by 10 my standing endurance. This is massive. And actually what happens is, as you create front-back movement, you remove every opportunity for sideways movement, and therefore you don't mess up your hip joint, your piriformis muscle, and your lower back tissues. This is typically the kind of cheap and easy trick that you can find in the posture manual, which is the entry-level product into the world of posture therapy. So if you like it, go to theposturemanual.com and get your ebook now.